Yes, guys. Hello. Welcome back to the Spurs Related YouTube and audio podcast. I hope you're all doing very well today. Monday. No, it's not Monday. It's Tuesday. Obviously, 3 days later after that Man City win. Hopefully, you're still all buzzing and looking forward to tomorrow's game at Turf Moor. And we're going to be running through all the things, key battles, player analysis, key stats, and just a general look forward to tomorrow's game. So as always, Andre, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Looking forward to this next game. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going, turn it around from here. We don't want to be shooting ourselves in the foot again.
Yeah, exactly. We've got to kick forward now, and I fully expect it. But before we get into things and the analysis, we have some of the Spurs relatables in here. That's what I've decided to call them, as I absolutely love that. I can't remember actually who suggested that, but big yourself up. We've got Sean in here, says COYS buzzing. Absolutely, Sean, still absolutely buzzing, mate. Alex, as always, steak with 2 steak comments. Big yourself up, Alex. Ayan Army, as always. He says Raid Lille for Botman and Jonathan David. Yeah, in action today in the Champions League against Chelsea. It'll be interesting to see how those guys do. Closer on Jonathan David for me. That guy's a baller. I expect him to score. Let's see if that happens. Adrian says, "Oh, Kulusevski. This guy is Kulusevski's biggest fan. Always going on about this Swedish guy. Always going on about this Swedish genius, and puts in a 9 out of 10 performance. Arguably 10 out of 10. Depends how you look at it. Against Man City. Big yourself up, Adrian. Hope you're doing well and nice to see you." And Sean says, "Big up 650 subs, lads." Yes. Thank you very much to you all. The quiz got us over the line on that little milestone. Yeah, everyone loved it. I'm sure a lot of you were in the chat live for that on Sunday. It was a great night, great guests, great panel. Irish Hotspur versus Tottenham Tour. If you want to find out who won, go and check out that video. But listen, back to the subject. Oh, Ayanami's calling him Kulusevski. I like that. And actually, Adrian's gone for Kulusexy. I love it. We've already got two nicknames for him. But listen, Andre, how are you doing? How are you keeping? And are you still absolutely buzzing over that win? And quickly, just before we obviously say that, let me know obviously your thoughts on in the chat for Burnley. What maybe your overriding opinion is? Do you feel confident going into this game? Let us know in the comments. But yeah, like I said, Andre, you still absolutely buzzing from Saturday?
Oh, 100%. It's a great win. And I think it's a huge morale booster. But again, we gotta be consistent here. There's no point in saying, "Oh, we beat Man City," but then we lose all the easy games. So I'm happy, but I'm still cautious, right? We talked about, and I'm sure most of you can think the same thing. When we talked about the Man City win, I was like, yes, I'm happy, I'm buzzing, but it's very unfortunate. Like, it's very frustrating to see what we can do, and then the easy games before that, we did not get that over the line. How amazing would it be to have at least gotten a tie against Wolves, gotten the 3 points against Southampton, and then come here and win against Man City that takes us into top 4? Instead, we're still relying on teams to lose some points. That's where we're at right now. So if we can find some consistency with these matches, I'm sure there will be points that will be dropped. And as long as we're in the front seat, then I will be much more happy.
Yeah, fair points. We have to be in the front seat. We have to take advantage of these games coming up. I think you're right. We're on a high from Man City, but it can always become a very quick negative in the club, and the morale can sort of ooze out the team if we do fail to get a result at Burnley, especially as Burnley, we're within, I think they're 19th, aren't they? So, at the end of the day, we have to be winning this game. There's no excuses. We've already lost 2 games we should have won at home. So we can't be dropping 9 points or even 7 points. We have to be at the top of our game and fulfilling those 3 points. I think you're right, Andre. But listen, Sean's saying the team's got to be full of confidence. We got this. Absolutely spot on. Iron Army says, "I believe the game will have a very low score. It's Burnley away, and after all, we have to score early on to make things easier for us and make them desperate. They have to win points to stay up." Couldn't agree more. These guys are fighting for their lives at the bottom of that Premier League. People are already writing off Burnley and Sean Dyche, but let's not forget, Sean Dyche has kept them up for several seasons now and has done a really good job there. and this is exactly what I'm saying. Adrian's saying, we can't underestimate Burnley, and we really can't. We really can't indeed. And listen, let's get straight into things, straight into the analysis of the game. We're going to bring you first the injury news from both sides. Andre, maybe you want to kick us off on the injury news from Burnley first of all.
Yeah, so currently we're still waiting for confirmation on certain things, but what we can tell you is that Tarkowski and Westwood, they both had COVID, and it's a big maybe if they'll start. But they are very important players, and we'll get into them because one of them is actually a key player that we selected today, one of the top 3 key players to look at. But we'll see what happens with them. Sean Dyche said that he will figure that out very, very soon, obviously, since they play tomorrow. Charlie Taylor, their main left back, is still injured. He just started training, but they won't risk him for this match. They're going to probably play him in the next match. That's what he said. Things could always change if they feel that they need to, but yeah, so it looks like the left back position will be filled in by Pieters, I think that's the name, the second left back. So
Eric
we should
Peters,
be,
yeah.
yeah, so we should be, we should take advantage of that. We'll see what happens, but you never know. Sometimes the second left back, the second players that come in, they perform their hearts out because they want to show that they should be starting. But yeah, that's the injury news for Burnley. Weghorst and Cornet, actually, some main guys. Obviously, Weghorst just came in. They've been he said that they're good to go. They had picked up some small knocks in the last game against Brighton, but they're good to go. So that's those are some players that we've actually selected as some key players that we need to watch out for. Weghorst coming in new, Cornet being on loan from Olympique Lyon, but we'll get to that.
Brilliant.
Tottenham right now, Skip and Tanganga still out. They don't want to risk Skip. It seems that his injury is a little complicated. Hopefully he'll be back soon. We need him. We need rotation. We can't just have Højbjerg and Bentancur and hope for the best with Winks maybe. But yeah, so right now Tanganga, Skip, and Reguilon actually, is he? And have you seen any updates on him?
Listen, it looks like Reguilon, obviously he had COVID, not fully confirmed, but he wasn't in the training pictures, and there was one unconfirmed case of someone in the camp with COVID. And apparently he wasn't in the training pictures yesterday, so indicates he's not back in training. And if he is back, it would probably likely be a bench start rather than a start in the 11. So let's expect Sessegnon to maybe start this game again tomorrow night, which maybe isn't a bad thing considering Sessegnon has actually played really well against Manchester City and really did impress me. But listen, I don't think Reguilon's confirmed, but it doesn't look like he'll start tomorrow.
Well, that's fine though, because what Conte did say about it in the press conference is that he trusts Sessegnon. He sees a lot of potential in him. He talked a lot about Sessegnon and what's been going on with him and the seasons he's happened, but the point that he wanted to come across to everyone is that he trusts Sessegnon. So let's hope Sessegnon takes this under the chin and really steps up.
Yeah, very good point. Let's get through a few comments. Adrian said we can't underestimate Burnley. Alex says we should be smashing Burnley. They're awful, don't care about their Brighton result. We destroyed them and had our B team out. Bobby K's in here. Big yourself up, Bobby. Hope you're doing well. And hope you had a great birthday, by the way. It's birthday boy on Sunday. So I hope you had a great one. Hope it wasn't too cold in Canada for you. Kane's saying, big up, guys. Big up, Nick. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Adrian said, I'm scared of that Big Ben Wedgehorst. Yeah, absolutely. Got to watch out for him. He's actually, he's already scored, hasn't he? He's already scored.
Yep.
He's already got an assist. So, yeah, watch out for him. Romero got Wedgehorst in his pocket. Let's go, says Sean. Absolutely. Kane saying, or Nick saying, Reguilon, I think, came out and said he had COVID and apologized. He did. I was mainly saying I'm not sure he's going to be back. He wasn't in the training photos, and that's what I'm saying. That one's not confirmed. So I don't. I think he potentially is still waiting on a negative test result. So potentially could have complications. Agent saying, I hope so. He's as tall as Big Ben. Craig Pawson gutted of Man City, lost poor from the officials. Yeah, that was a weird one. I don't know if you see that, Andre. The 4 officials sort of looked gutted when we scored that last goal.
I heard that. I heard about that when we were doing our last podcast, but I haven't seen it. Interesting.
A&R saying, I still think Sessegnon starting will be a good thing. He has proved himself in some of the hardest games of the season. Liverpool and City. He just needs a good run of games. Yeah, maybe for his confidence. Exactly. He did so well against Man City after obviously getting substituted after 28 minutes against Wolves. And really did, put in a really good performance. Really strong. Really, really strong. Alex says, great wedge horse, might be tall, but he's terrible at heading. Wow, not a big wedge
Mm,
horse fan. Do you know what? I think the guy's a decent player. I think we need to be a bit wary of him.
yeah.
Bobby K, was a wonderful day. Thanks lots. The win before absolutely made the weekend fantastic. Yeah, I can understand why, Bobby. Absolutely brilliant. I hope you had a great day with your kids and your family. And yeah, you're all staying well out there. SOF saying needs these points to stay in the top 4 race. Only 7 points behind United. If we win our 3 in hand, that puts us 2 ahead in 4th. Spot on. SOF is key now. We can't let any of these slips. This has got to be the biggest morale boost we can ever get, and we can't underestimate Burnley. It's a great point from Adrian. We really do have to, be really confident going into this game, but also respect the opponent and do our research. And I'm sure Conte will be drilling that into the players. But big yourself up, SOF. Always nice to see you, mate. And Kane says, did you put Dyer and Romero double man? Oh, sorry. Do you put Dyer and Romero double man on wedge horse and lock him out, or trust Dyer to win those aerial battles? It could be a good talking point.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Because they do have some other dangerous players up at the front there.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I think what is it? Weghorst taught some assists as well. So locking him out wouldn't really do too much if you have another player running out there.
Spot on. Right, listen. I think we've run through all the injury news now, but without further ado, as always, Andre's done some brilliant research, guys, for you in terms of their key players that we should be watching out for. There is 4 players that we're watching out for today, and so without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Andre, who's going to start talking about these first players. And obviously, guys, get your comments in on who you think is the main threat for Burnley. Maybe it's Aaron Lennon after his goal the other day, ex-Spurs player, or maybe it's Wedge Horse, maybe it's Jay Rodriguez. Like, just get your comments in and let's see what you guys think. But Andre, over to you, my man.
All right, so let's start with our first one. We have picked out James Tarkowski, defender, 29 years old. He's played 20 matches. He has 1 goal and 2 assists. He has 68% completed passes, 80% tackling success. And the big one is that he is number 1 in blocked shots in the EPL with 35 blocked shots.
That is a good stat on.
Yeah, so he's definitely someone to look out for, especially if they deem him available to play tomorrow. As I said, he had COVID, so it's still a big maybe. But we picked him out regardless, just because of the stats that he has. The fact that he's number 1 in blocked shots. So Kane, Son, gotta watch out for them. Let's see if he can handle them. Let's see if Kane and them can find some chances. But Kane, he'll find a chance from a half chance. So.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, you gotta say that it's an impressive stat, but also at the same time, if Kane and Son can play as well as they did the other day, I don't think we'd be having too many problems getting around that Burnley defense. But let's be honest. I can't remember who put it earlier. This will probably be a low-scoring game. I see it being no more than. Actually, I don't see it being more than 2 goals in this game. And I think that has a lot to do with the resilience of the Burnley back 4. And yeah, let's not underestimate them. Tarkowski is a solid defender, really solid defender, and you can see just by those stats.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Let's move on to the next one here. We've got
sure. Just before we do, because I don't want to get behind on the comments. Listen, it's a really good point here. Aonomi says both teams need to win this game and have come back from very big and positive results. It'll be a tough match, and this is what I'm saying. Do not underestimate Burnley. They're fighting for their lives at the bottom of that table, and every point counts for them. Even if they can get a draw, it's a big result for them. So, and 2 points lost at Turf Moor wouldn't be good for us. Alex is saying play Rodon to counter Wedge Horse height because Rodon is like 6'4". What do you think on that?
Would this be the right game to try out something new, or do we keep the momentum and keep the same players? I think that's the bigger question here.
I'd play the same 11. I'd personally play the same 11. I wouldn't bring in Rodon. I just don't think it's the time for like experiment. I think it's the time for, kicking on with maybe the same mentality, the same squad, and the same tactics. Um,
Yeah.
and listen, there's obviously a reason why Rodon's not playing. Rodon, okay, it may be harsh. Mourinho played him and he's looked good, but let's be honest, Romero, Dyer, and Davies at the moment, I wouldn't move anything around. Yes, Davies had a shocker in the other games, but who do you drop for Rodon? I can't see a justifiable reason to drop any of those three, especially with Dyer coming in really commanding that defense and Romero just looking absolutely quality, other than obviously the harsh penalty shout. But I just don't know who you take out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have him on the bench for sure and sub him in if we're leading a 2-0 and there's like 10 minutes left. Get him in there. Just to get some momentum in there instead of Sanchez. Give him an opportunity to see the pitch. But I wouldn't start any of them over. I wouldn't start Rodon over any of those guys. They just won Man City. I think they earned their place.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a really, I love this point from Bobby K. He says, we have to start taking points from the big boys and giving to the small clubs. We have to stop doing that. We're not Robin Hood. Need to get it into gear right away tomorrow. Robin
Yeah,
Hood. Love that.
that's true.
Getting the points off the big and giving it to the small. I absolutely love that. I wish Emerson can put more pinpoint crosses in. Kane picks him out nicely already. Kane picks him out nicely always. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it showed that Kulusevski's delivery really turns Kane's performance into absolutely unbelievable. It's absolutely world-class performance from Kane on Saturday.
Yeah.
And a lot of credit goes to Kulusevski and Son for providing that and providing the ability for Kane to make runs into that box and actually be found for once, because that's what we've been struggling with a lot of the time. So, listen, I was absolutely buzzing with that. And
Yeah,
SOF
look,
says,
the thing is, Kane is hungry for goals, but what can he do if he gets no service?
Exactly that. And SOF says, Conte really praising Session today. Should we look into the fact he's starting big games? Maybe Reguilon is going to be back to Real Madrid in the summer. Maybe also to get Reguilon up to his game. Listen, it puts pressure on Reguilon. It puts competition at left wing back. And listen, I still think Reguilon's the better option. But I was just saying in another podcast, it's a breath of fresh air. We have that backup and the ability to switch it up if need be. Especially with Reguilon, obviously can potentially get injured and stuff like that. So I think it's great that we got Sessegnon as a backup. You look at the other wing, right wing back, Emerson or Doherty, it's not concrete. And to be honest, the quality on the left is so much better than the right. So
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
I would personally stick with Reguilon when he's available, but Sessegnon will probably start tomorrow.
Yeah, and I really think he's stepping it up this year. The other years when he would make mistakes, have some bad games, he would just kind of crumble from there, and it would feed into the next match. But this time, looks like he's taking it to the chin and really trying to perform even better in the next one, being resilient.
Yeah, exactly. Alex is saying Nuno beat them. Would take Tarkowski. And Kane's saying Cornet worries me. Exactly. Maybe he's in one of our 4 players. We'll have to see. But Gageta's in the building. He said, my guys, Antonio. Love it, Gageta. Welcome on in, my friend. Hope you're well. And, enjoying that win still. It looks like it. Deitch isn't a slouch either. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Sean Deitch has kept Burnley up for many years when they were, favourites to go down. And, he might still do it. This is the kind of game where he can pick up points, and we have to be wary of that. Alex says Davies worries me when he's against Wedgehorst or Cornet. Let's see. If we drop points versus the lower teams, we have to beat United, West Ham, Arsenal, and possibly Liverpool, which is why these points are really key. SOF, we have to win the game. We have to. Sessegnon to start against Burnley, and I'm happy for him. And he says subbed on 25th minute of the game before and had a good game. Great mentality. This is what I'm saying. He could have easily let that knock his confidence. The fact he was the player to come off, but actually most of those players could have come off in that Wolves game. They were all shocking, especially in that first half. So listen, he's done really well to dust himself off and come back a better player, and he's done just that. And Reggie didn't play against City because he was the one unnamed player with COVID. You're spot on, Gageta. But that brings us on to our next player pick from Andre. I'm going to start calling this like Andre's player picks or something. We need a catchy line though. Maybe one of the guys will get like, maybe we can name the show like Andre's player picks or something a bit more jazzy than that. Maybe the
Yeah, well,
relatables can help us out. The Spurs relatables, absolutely love that, by the way. But
help us
listen,
come up with a good one. Yeah, but our
who's the next
next
player?
player is Jay Rodriguez. The guy has, he's been a key player for Burnley for a while now. 32 years old, 32 matches, 6 goals, 2 assists, 63 completed passes, 75% tackle success. He's been a decent player for them. He hasn't done too much, but I mean, in general, Burnley haven't done too much either. But
Yep.
this guy, you can't give him space because he will go and run after there. He has, I think, his most recent goal was against Man United in the EPL. So that will, that's a big game. That's that game where I believe they tied that game, if I stand corrected, or did they
Yeah.
lose that one?
No, I
I
think you're
think
right.
they tied it, right? Yeah, and that's the thing with Burnley. They grind out the draw. So that's what we need to worry about. If it's going to be a low scoring game, they will grind out the draw, and we need to watch this guy. Yeah, not too much more to say about him, to be honest. He hasn't, Burnley in general have not been doing too well, as you can see on the table, but they are a resilient a resilient group that will try and get that point. And as you can see, they're already they're not 20th anymore. They're 19th, and they have a lot of games in hand. They will be fighting to get out of there, and they are on a morale high after Brighton. And not
Yeah.
only that, but that's also because of a player that has come in. But we'll get to him very soon. Right now, I think the next player we should talk about is Cornet.
Absolutely, Andre. Great stats and great research from you again. Aaron's in the building. Well, big up, Aaron. Nice to see a new face. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're still buzzing after Saturday and looking forward to tomorrow. So thanks so much for joining us. We really do appreciate the new faces that join us. And maybe you were in the quiz on Sunday. That chat was going so quick. I do apologise, but listen. At the end of the day, we welcome all new faces, and it's always a pleasure to see new people in the stream. But listen, Andre, on to that next player.
All right. So Maxwell Cornet, 25 years old, left winger, but who also plays as a center forward for them too. He's been switching here and there. He's played 16 matches, has 6 goals and 1 assist.
Wow.
His goals were against Leicester, 2 against Southampton, 1 in Brentford, Crystal Palace, and Leeds. So he's got his fair share of goals. I would watch out for him 100%. That guy can play either center forward or winger. So he's kind of like Davies in that sense, where he's got different uses depending on if the formation needs to change. He'll still be on the pitch. So he could start as a left winger, but if they want to bring McNeil in, they could just put him up front with Weghorst.
Yeah, really good point, Andre.
At the moment, he's on loan from Olympique Lyon. He had some matches in the Africa Cup of Nations too. They got to round of 16. So he's quality. He's quality. He's making his way.
So we gotta watch out for this guy. And I think is he their top scorer at the moment?
At the moment, I believe so. Yes, 6 goals. 6 goals.
Yeah,
Yep.
must be right. So yeah, this guy's a threat. What a signing. They got this guy from the the just
Olympique Lyon
yeah, I was gonna say the
on
French league.
loan. Yep.
I couldn't actually remember which club it was. But yeah, you're right, Leon, and he was actually a starter for them a lot of the time. And listen, we've got to be very careful. This guy's got electrifying pace. This guy can really come in from the left and also play up front. So it's definitely someone that we need to be wary of on tomorrow night. And he's at the end of the day, he's a decent player. He's a very decent player. He's probably above Burnley's level, but this is the thing with the Premier League. All clubs can attract these amazing players. And listen, he's going to cause a problem, especially with Weghorst. They might actually provide an incredible attacking force, maybe a little bit better than the outdated Chris Wood. And actually, maybe Burnley have got an incredible deal here. The fact they got Weghorst and Cornet in and got rid of Chris Wood that maybe was drying up on the goals. Listen, that's an unbelievable bit of business from Burnley. They're a sensible club. They go about their business well. And also, I don't think he's in our ones to watch, but it's got to be said that Aaron Lennon's actually having a decent runner's form. Ex-Spurs player, absolutely on fire. So, listen, Aaron Lennon's got to be one you've got to look out for as well, right, Andre?
Yeah, of course, of course. I mainly just picked out players that are really standing out consistently. But if you also always got to watch out for those people who are in form. But yeah, Kane Lockshot's right here. Very explosive, dangerous player. Exactly.
Yeah.
He's my number one pick for the player to watch out for sure.
Okay, interesting. There you go, guys. Watch out for Cornet on Wednesday night. Derek says, "Big up James and Andre. Big yourself up, Derek. Appreciate your support and also supporting all channels as well, really. Always see you on the Irish Hotspur, always see you on Spurs Talk Show, Tottenham on Tour. You're just everywhere, mate, giving you support, and we really do appreciate that on behalf of the Spurs community. We really do love seeing all, those regular faces. It really does put a reason to why we do these videos. We love engaging with the people that always turn up. So big yourself up, mate. SOS says, big man, little man up front with the wedge horse and corner. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Almost like the formidable force that was maybe Berbatov and Defoe, or Berbatov and Keane even. Berbatov, bit of a lankier player, even Crouch and Defoe, right? So,
Yep.
that little and large combination does work. And Alex's son's clear of Cornet, of course, he said that. But listen, got one more player, right, Andre?
Yeah, we have a bonus one because of a player who just joined the club. So his stats aren't, they're not super developed, but of course, Weghorst. How could we not talk about this guy? He's 29 years old, just come in from Wolfsburg from the Bundesliga. He was a starter. We were actually linked to him, if you guys remember, in 2020 winter window when we were looking for that backup striker. We ended up going for Vinicius later on in the next
Yep.
season. But what a signing. 8 million when they sold Chris Wood for 25. That is just crazy.
We were linked with him in 2021 January as well, right?
Yep, yeah, we were linked with him a few times.
Mm,
He was always an option for us, but not anymore. I think
yeah.
Burnley might have saved their season with this guy because he's got 4 matches. He's already got 1 goal and 2 assists.
Wow. Wow. Already.
Already, yeah. 4 matches,
He's in
1
my
goal.
he's in my fantasy football team if it helps. Yeah. you know,
Oh man.
the
I,
guy's a
I should
decent
have.
player.
Yeah, I should. I think did I put him in? I think I might have. I think I might have put him into my fantasy team for this. For hopefully this week he doesn't score against us. But I mean, if we have to win like a 2-1 and he scores, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's the one.
Yeah.
Get some points in there.
This guy, I've just looked it up now, and I've been watching this guy for years. He was at AZ Alkmaar in 16-17 and 17-18. He played 33 games, scored 17 goals. Next season, 31 games, 18 goals. Also, that with the goals and assists, nearly a goal contribution a game. Wolfsburg, he was there for 4 seasons, 34 games, 17 goals. 34 games, 17 goals, 7 assists. Next season, 32 games, 16 goals, 3 assists. Next season, 34 games, 20 goals, 8 assists. That is literally a goal contribution a game.
Wow.
And then last season, 18 goals, 18 matches, 6 game. 18 matches, 6 goals, 1 assist. So maybe slightly went off the burner. But listen, so far, nearly a goal contribution a game, keeping up that record from a couple of seasons ago. 4
Yep.
games played, 1 goal, 2 assists, like Andre said. And I would watch out for this guy. He seems to be popping up with either a goal and an assist. He's obviously a force. And listen, at the end of the day, for Burnley to go to Brighton and get a 3-0 win, I've heard Brighton weren't very good, but Burnley were decent as well, and that's
Yep.
got to be looked at because at the end of the day, we might be cruising after a 3-2 win against Man City, but we know that from the previous week, we need to be watching out for teams like Burnley, don't we?
Yeah, we can't be underestimating these small teams. Again, we're not Robin Hood here. We can't be stealing from the rich, giving to the poor here. I'm sorry, but I really hope, I'm rooting for Burnley for them to be not get relegated, but I'm sorry, but this match we need to win. So yeah, but to me, it's crazy the deal that they got here because this guy is he's good. He's good.
Yeah, good
Um,
player, good player.
it's crazy how Burnley got him for the amount that they got him, and they might have saved their season with this move. To be honest, he's meshed so well with that team. They already look like a much better team with him in it. And then 100% he will be starting tomorrow.
Yeah, watch out for Wedge Horse. You heard it here first, guys. And obviously Cornet as well. Those two are going to be a problem for us. And Romero Dyer, Davies, Sessegnon, and probably Emerson really need to be on the top of their game to contain these two players. And if they score, I can see it coming from one of them, maybe the link up. Let's see. But hopefully that doesn't happen because Joe said, evening, boys. Evening, Joe. Tough plays Turf Moor. We needed Fabinho to get us through recently. And I think, yeah, that was only a 1-0 win, right? And it's likely to be a slog for Spurs too. Your last 4 results there have been 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 2-1. Tight games. Literally, Joe, 5 minutes ago, I was literally saying, I really don't see more than 2 goals in this game. If I had to predict, I'm going to predict to the end of the video, but it's under 2. It's under 3 goals for sure. It's just you don't go to Turf Moor and get like a 5-0 win. It's rarely going to happen. And if we do, that is really a statement because Burnley really don't concede that many goals. So yeah, very good point, Joe, and great research there. GLC masterclass tonight. We need to move to be permanent or a swap to cash for Torres in the summer. Pau Torres. Oh, did he do well tonight? Did he Lascelles? So I haven't actually seen that. But listen, I'm not surprised that Lascelles is doing that over there because he was a class player under at Real Betis in the first place. That's why we got him, and that's why we went in for him. So listen. Oh, right. I think I see what you're saying. He's going to be playing for Villarreal tonight, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be. He's playing up front with Dan Juma or in the forward line with Dan Juma, Chukwueze, and even ex-player Capoue in the midfield, Etienne Capoue. Christ, even Alberto Moreno's playing. That is a Premier League throwback team. And Foy.
Oh,
so it's a Premier League throwback Villarreal team there. I like that. But listen, yeah, hopefully Lo Celso scores against Juventus and that will be the reason they buy him. Let's hope that's the case. But yeah, good point, SOF. I compare Wedge Horse when Crouch was at Stoke. Yeah, really good comparison actually, Alex. I like that. Yeah. He's saying Scott and Cash. Joe's saying, I hope you win. Controversial, but I want them gone now. Admire what Sean Dyche has done, but I'd much rather have Fulham back rather than watching 11 0-0s per season at Turf Moor. Yeah, it's a really good point. Burnley is one of those teams I sort of tune in for. I'm sure you're the same, Andre, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are a low-scoring team. But like I said, they grind out a result. They'll get a point or something. But they tend to do that.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, the most likely scoreline is either a 1 or 2-0, let's be honest. But Joe said 1-0 Tottenham, Son to score like he did a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, absolutely. And
right. That amazingness.
Yeah, that was mad. That was the corner that went in. Kane headed it, and then Son got a touch on it. Do you remember?
Yeah, and then he did that humongous run. Can still visualize it to this day.
No, that was the home. That was the home game. The away game where the ball went in. Kane flicked it, and Son got a head on it, and that was to break one of the records for the combination.
I remember that. That was a good.
And Son went and Son went up to him. It was really kind of iconic in a way. And he went, "Did you get the assist to Kane?" Like you could see him mouth it because they needed that to break some kind of record. I'm sure Joe can clear that up, but they definitely beat that record that Drogba and Lampard set for the amount of goal contributions between a duo in a season. So yeah, good point. Joe, of course, the Liverpool guy saying Alberto Moreno. Game is about to start. Starting versus Juve. Yeah, Champions League tonight. Actually buzzing for that, 8 o'clock. So yeah, we're on your screen still till maybe just before that, and bringing you all the insight into Tottenham. And then you can go and enjoy your Champions League night, guys, because I know a lot of you enjoy watching that. I mean, who doesn't at the end of the day? I absolutely miss it. I wish we could get Champions League football again. That used to make my midweek something to look forward to midweek, whereas now I just look forward to the weekend and Spurs in the Premier League. But how sad is that to say that? It's a bit tragic. Might get the violin out in a minute.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to dampen the mood, guys. I'm sure we'll lift it in a minute. Sean says, I think last time a team scored 3 goals against Burnley was Leeds in 15th of May 21. You're probably right, to be honest. It sounds about right. I can't imagine them conceding 3 or more goals, relatively recently. I can't remember anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't remember that either.
Ayanami says, I'd let Kulu try a free kick and see what happens. What do you think on that?
I mean, why not? Give him a chance. So far, we have nothing to lose when it comes to free kicks at the moment. No one's really been scoring off of those. We need someone who can do that.
Yep, definitely. SOS says 1-0 Romero header. Very likely, to be honest. Definitely not top of the favourites list, but I think 1-0 is certainly. Maybe Romero will get it on a scabby sort of corner We've scored corners there before, like we were just saying with that Son goal. So interesting. Ayanami says hashtag UEFA Mafia. Obviously not a fan yourself, Ayanami. So he's also said same. So maybe you guys don't want to watch the Champions League. I don't know. Kane the long shot. Let Dyer take free kicks.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, Dyer seems to have had closer calls than Kane or Son at the moment. So I would even say have Dyer and Kulu both at the ball there, and they can take turns depending on what their, I guess, what their decision is. Because honestly, Kane has been hitting that wall every time, and
No, don't
Son,
let Kane take them, man.
yeah, then it's not happening because he's used to just taking some really hard sniper shots, and that's not a free kick thing. A free kick needs to curve, and unless he's running and curving it in when he's cutting in from a free kick, it's not happening.
Yeah, spot on. Exactly. Please get Kane off those free kicks. Please get Kane off those free kicks. Listen, there's a couple more comments. Joe's just said Lukaku dropped by Tuchel tonight. Not surprised after recording the lowest amount of touches in Premier League history, 7 for a 90-minute performance. 1 touch was from kickoff. Wow, I saw that. I
Wow.
thought it was 4 touches. Maybe it was 7, but even so, that's ridiculously low. Jonathan David for Lille, let's go. Yeah, we were just saying about Jonathan David. It'd be an interesting watch tonight with them against Chelsea, and obviously, I guess Sven Botman starting right as well. Sven Botman for Lille. Let's
Yep.
have a look. Yeah, he is. Sven Botman and Jose Fonte at the back. Solid defense there. And they've even got Jonathan Bamber at wing, Sanchez coming in there, Renato Sanchez in the midfield.
Yeah.
Decent team they've got. And they've even got you in midfield. They got Benjamin
Oh, there
Andre.
we go.
So big yourself up, Andre, for making a start for
There we
Lille
go.
tonight at Stamford Bridge in the Champions League. But listen, Alex said the same about Kudo on free kicks. Interesting topic, guys. One I've not really actually thought of before. Kovac was a tougher opponent in European competition for us than Ajax.
Oh man.
Good
Yeah, that was
point.
crazy how we went out, eh? But I think it was for the best. We were not in that position to be in more than 2 competitions with the squad that we have right now.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Dyer right foot, free kicks, Kulu left. Yeah, potentially SOF. Kane taking free kicks. It's actually painful to watch. And Joe
Yeah.
said Kane on corners, hashtag Hodgson ball when he's taken for England. Horrendous. Just don't let Kane take set pieces. He should be in the box, honestly. The only
Yeah.
free kick I think Kane's ever properly scored was against Villa on his debut. Do you remember? At Villa Park,
Mhm.
absolute scenes around the number 37 shirt, erupted, last minute free kick. Who was in charge of us? It might have even been Tim Sherwood, you know. Absolute
Oh,
mental how long ago that was, 2014. Bobby K says 2-0, Kane and Son to break records tomorrow. To break that
that'd be
record
great.
tomorrow, COYS, yeah, that would be lovely. Or maybe even just wait for a home game as well. But no, I'd rather get it done tomorrow, to be honest with you, as long
Mhm.
as we win. How about Bentancur pass it to Kane from a free kick?
Yeah, I guess
What's layoff?
you could
Layoff,
have
maybe? No.
yeah, you could have Dyer, Kulu, and Bentancur, all 3 of them, and then people won't know whether or not Dyer's gonna take it, whether Kulu's gonna take it, or if Bentancur's gonna lay it off for the people in the box. That'd be a good way to go about it, to be honest. At least for now, until we get an actual free kick taker, unless Kulu steps up.
Good point. Good
But
point. Very good
listen
point.
here, I think that before we continue with some comments here, we gotta say the reason I say that Burnley, it's gonna be a low game as well. I got the goalkeeper stats here. Nick Pope from 23 matches, he's conceded 27 goals and he has 6 clean sheets. Compared to Hugo Lloris, 27 matches, 37 goals conceded, 8 clean sheets.
What do you
So
make of that? How do you read into that?
well, I mean, you add an extra 4 matches and you got a player who's conceded 10 extra goals. Like that says a lot.
Mm,
Um, so I would definitely keep an eye on the fact that defense better be on their A game, and Kane and Son better be on their A game as well, because this is a team that does not concede many goals and at the same time grinds out at least 1 goal to get the point. And we cannot afford to be drawing anymore. We are in a position right now, unfortunately, shooting ourselves in the foot, where we need to be winning every game now. There's no drawing mentality here. We need to win. We don't have
yeah.
that opportunity anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can't afford any more slip ups, can we? We've had our two slip ups, and that was going past what we should have in 1 week as well. By the way, so we really can't be going back and talking about that game where it's lost points. We just can't. Ayanami's basically just summarised what you said there on Jay and said it's going to be difficult to find cracks in that defence, but if we're precise and patient, we'll find it. I think Kulusevski could be the key here. Get out to
Yeah.
on the wing, get balls in the box, challenge Tarkowski, and is it Ben Mee, the other centre back? So get
Mhm.
the balls into the box, get Kane and Son on the end of them, or maybe even make darting runs. And that's the other thing. Conte tweeted on posted on his Instagram story today saying, I think it's his admin, but he basically said counter-attack football only, laugh face. And if you look at our goals, they weren't counter-attacks against Man City. They were playing it from the back and patient build-up, nice tiki-taka passing, through to the middle, find that through ball to Son or Kulusevski, and things opened up, and that's exactly what happened. Just find space. Kulusevski's almost that option that causes problems on the wing. Get it to him, bang, ball in the box, or bang through ball. Son even bang the through ball into Kulusevski or Kane. It's the three that we need. Maybe Kane and Son were taking too much pressure on their own, whereas Kulusevski's taking that weight off their shoulders now, and they know that he can really contribute to that goal scoring situation.
I could see you really visualizing it there. You were like looking somewhere else, like you were really just watching it happen in
Got
your
into
eyes there.
that. I got into that. I got into that. Yeah, listen, like, I've been watching those goals back so many times. I could even tell you, Andre, the angle that the ball got passed through to Kulusevski and Ben Davies whipping it across for that VAR one that was called offside all the way across the pitch, and then Kulusevski taking a touch, playing it through to Kane, who finished it, and it was offside. I memorised the whole game, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing. I probably watched that highlight about 20 times. I can't lie
Yeah.
to you. I was absolutely buzzing on Saturday night. I'm sure everyone else was as well, to be honest. Kwabi Gay says Pope is underrated.
Yeah,
What do you make of
I
that?
think so. I think so. Nick Pope, he's a good goalkeeper who plays for a not so good team, a team who just barely makes it every time. And unfortunately, yeah, I think that I think for sure we need to Kane and Son need to be on their A game here because that guy he can make a good save. That's why he has so many like look at the fact that we with 4 less games than Lloris, he has 10 less goals conceded than him, and he has the defense that he does. He plays for the team that he does, and he has that many goals conceded. It's a big thing there.
Yep. Spot on, Andre. Spot on. Someone will finish fourth despite our best efforts, and whoever does will talk the most shit. Yeah, Nick is going to be bragging right central there. Sean said, "What about Moore? Not much to talk about Moore. To be honest with you, Moore is." I said this a couple of weeks back. You can rewind and watch the podcast. I said Mora has another bad game against Wolves. It was on the Wolves preview. He will get dropped in the next game. What happened? Mora had a bad game against Wolves. The whole team did. He got dropped. Kulusevski came in against Manchester City, plays an unbelievable performance, 9 out of 10 performance. Kulusevski starts again. It's as simple as that. Lucas Moura, unfortunately, has been one of our better players this season. However, he started to diminish now. Kulusevski's come in, put pressure on him, outplayed more in the last few games. For me, he starts. It's as
Yep.
simple as that, Sean. For me, I don't know about you, Andre.
Yeah, and this is again going back to the thing that Conte said at the beginning when they were asking him about Moura and what he thinks of him because he was playing well. And he said, look, he is a great player with so much potential. And when he has great games, he has amazing games. But the issue is that they're not consistent. He disappears. And that's what's been happening. He's been disappearing. He doesn't do much. And yeah, he got an assist in that one game where he wasn't playing well, but other than that, the rest of it was just one of those things where, yeah, he got an assist, but that's it. And then the next game happened and it was even worse, and we can't afford to have a player who can't try and be consistent. Even when Son isn't playing well, he plays like when he's not playing at like his version of well, it's still pretty decent. And we need players, all 3 of the players at the top need to be like that.
Yeah, spot on, Andre. Spot on. Really good conclusion on that. Ayanami says using tiki taka against Pep, how iconic, ironic. Sorry, yeah, exactly, and iconic actually. Decky earned his start. Is it? I saw the Spurs calling him Decky. Is it Decky or I prefer Deji?
Yeah,
Dejan
I'm not.
Kulusevski or Kulu. But anyway, without going
I
on
like
too much
Kulu,
about
but
nicknames, otherwise we'll end up getting nicknamed by our followers at some point. You know what I mean, Andre? But
yeah,
Nick said Decky and start over Lucas. Love him, but he's been in a bad run of form. Exactly, basically
yeah,
echoing my thoughts there, Nick. Hilsey, good to see. Good to see you. Before I read your comment out, welcome onto the channel. If you're new, hope you're enjoying it here. You're always welcome. You're going to be one of the Spurs relatables if that's all right with you. That's what we call our followers now. So big up you relatables out there. But Ilzy says, good to see we can switch to play better now. Exactly. Like I said, that Ben Davies ping, unbelievable. Even Ben Davies pinging it about. Who thought I'd be saying that? But Kulusevski has got a nice range of passing on him. And we actually said that when he came in. We analysed him, his performances at Parma and Juventus, and actually he's got a really good range of passing. And even Sessegnon was pinging the ball about nicely. And Emerson, we know, can cross the ball, but maybe not quite accurate enough. So it's nice to see we got options. It's a really good comment there from Hilsey. Ayanami says, I think Lucas will struggle in this match as the space he'll receive will be very limited. Exactly. Maybe just use him as a super sub for this one. Maybe use him as a super sub, Ayanami.
yeah.
Kulusevski could fill in for Kane if the need was to arise. Exactly. Everyone's saying we don't have a second striker. I do agree we don't. But if we're looking at backup options, maybe Kulusevski could be that option, right, Andre?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And it's good to we'll see if that even happens. Hopefully it does. We're not forced to do that because we really need Kane at the moment, especially in the form he's in. Like him and Kulu, like I think he was requested to be called Decky. So I guess I'll just call him Decky. Him and
Okay.
Decky, they really saved us because we were having some blunders. That penalty just I was this close to being correct about the score line, and I was so upset because I had guessed the 2-2. That's what I had assumed. I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll have to,
We both
I
said
guess.
2. We both said 2, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we
And
both
then,
said 2-all because we seem to come in against we step up against the big teams, but I was like, our defense is kind of shoddy, but Kane and Decky saved us.
yeah, and then Kane's was said, you said Deschamps requested to be called Decky because that's his nickname where he comes from. Kulu sounds like Kulo, which is the backside in
Yeah, yeah,
Italian and
yeah,
Spanish. Respect, we should call him what he's asked for. Kane said, I
yeah,
said 3-0, but I guess those bums had to score. Listen,
yeah,
yeah, even when I was doing my match graphic for the full-time result on Spurs-related social media, I put 2-all. I was going to my family look called 2-all, guys, and then obviously the rest is history. I was jumping over my sofa. I was going running around my lounge. It was absolute scenes.
yeah.
But
I'll never be mad to be proven wrong about a poor performance here.
yeah, exactly. Andre, have you got a little insight on the head-to-head maybe before we've sort of think to wrap things up?
Sure. So let's run over here in the table. They're Burnley right now are at 19th, 22 matches played, 2 wins, 11 draws, 9 losses. So as you can see, they have a lot of draws. I'm pretty sure the only other team who has more draws than Burnley is Brighton with 12. Other than that, yeah, they have a lot of draws. They will be a very resilient team that if we leave the scoreline short like that close, like a 1-0 or something, it's gonna be scary to watch. They find a way in there. So, and especially the defense we have, yeah, okay, Dyer's back, good, that's great. Romero's been playing very well, but like we've said, Davies, for example, he is a paper over the cracks, I think you said, and I
I
think
say
he'll
every
have some.
podcast, Andre. It's
Yeah,
not a podcast without me saying it. He is. He is.
yeah. So, he can have a good run of form, just like Sanchez. I've also said, I lean more on the fact that I dislike Sanchez more. But
Yeah.
they're both players that on a good run of form, they're good. But other than that, they're not consistently great. And, I'm sure Sean Dyche will be letting them know and prepping them to find faults in Davies. Look for him to slip. Look for him to cross the cross the
Oh
ball into
no!
the middle of the
Stop!
box or
Stop!
something.
Stop! Aaron said, "Hopefully, we get a good result tomorrow." I'm really, really fingers crossed for you. Fingers crossed for us. Jelly and ice cream, as we like to call you as well, Aaron. It's almost like the Mars Singer. You've been revealed from Jelly and ice cream. Aaron Doyle, but big yourself up for joining.
Yeah.
Um, Alex saying, "Don't we have the least amount of draws?" I think you're probably right.
Yeah,
I
I
think
wouldn't
you're
be
probably
surprised.
right. Andre could probably confirm.
We have 3 draws right now.
Yeah. So we either win or lose, guys. So don't do it. Don't think about us drawing. But listen, head-to-head record. The last 5 meetings with Burnley. So we've got 2019 was a 5-0 win when Son scored his Puskas Award winner. That was that game. Then
Yep.
in 2020 we had a 1-1, which is where Dele Alli scored a penalty to equalise Chris Wood's opener. Then in 2020 we had a 1-0 win, which was that Son header I was talking about from the corner.
Yep.
Which was at Turf Moor. Then in 2021 at home, we won 4-0. Bale, Kane, Lucas, and Bale again. I remember that. Bale scored an absolute worldie in that game. And then the last game was at Turf Moor, where we won 1-0 in the Carabao Cup, I believe. Yeah, in the Carabao Cup quarter final. And
That was
Lucas
with
Moura
Nuno,
grabbed the
right?
goal. That was under Nuno. Lucas Moura grabbed the goal in October 27th, 2021. So overall, out of those 5 games, if you count things up, Spurs have won 4 of them and drawn 1. Burnley haven't won it against us in the last 5 games. And Burnley also, last time they beat us was 2019. I remember it quite well, actually. Chris Wood and Ashley Barnes scored late to overcome a Kane goal in the second half, and we lost 2-1. So we have lost to Burnley in the last maybe 4 visits ago at Turf Moor, but in our
Yep.
last 3 visits at Turf Moor, we've drawn and then won twice, 1-0. So 1-0, very predominant scoreline. And without further ado, Andre, let's crack straight into our score predictions. Chat.
All right, one
Big up
last
the
thing to
support.
say though. One
Okay,
last
go
thing
on.
to say is their form right now. That's the big thing here. They have 3 draws, 1 loss, and 1 win. Draws against Manchester United and Arsenal and Watford, while we have 3 losses and 2 wins. Against small teams and big teams, we've lost. So it is definitely something to keep in mind. The fact that Burnley are being resilient no matter what kind of team they're up against here. So we need
Fair
to
point.
really be on our A game here.
Fair point. Guys, get in the chat your score predictions. You know the drill. Maybe we need a little jingle to get the score predictions in at the end of every podcast. But listen, Andre, the pressure's over to you. The mic's over to you to start things off. Sorry about that, mate. I know I put the pressure on you every week, but I'm sure you have a prediction in mind.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1.
2-1 Spurs?
For Spurs, yes.
Okay.
I think that Weghorst, some sort of masterclass is going to come from him, and he will at least get either the goal or assist a goal. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet here. Or for all you know, Lloris does something and they get a very fluky goal.
Stop tempting fate, Andre. I'm
just being realistic here, and I'm sure most of you can agree with me here that when it comes to clean sheets, it hasn't been very good for us. We've always found a way to concede somehow. But I do see us being resilient here, finding at least 2 goals. And I'm sure Conte will be thinking the exact same thing. We're going up against a team who finds a goal. And if we play it 1-0 for the whole game, it will be a lot of pressure on a few players who they tend to crack under pressure. Davies mainly the issue here, but yeah, and they will 100% be pushing Davies to crack under pressure. So if we can at least score 2 goals, yeah, and if we can at least score 2 goals, I'm sure that we will be playing much better, knowing that the pressure's not that crazy if we make some sort of mistake here. So 2-1 for me. Let's see what happens. How about you?
Okay, yeah, I like that. 2-1, 2-1. Let's see how close we are this time. 1 goal off last time. But listen, I'm actually not going with the same as you this week. I know I did last week with the 2-2. That was what I had already prepared. I've actually got a 2-0 in mind. I see a really professional performance at Turf Moor. I see us scoring early and then soaking up a lot of the Burnley pressure that may come back at us, and then us getting another goal in the second half. I think we're scoring both halves. I think it'll be 1-0 within 20, 30 minutes, and then I think it'll be 2-0 within, say, 70 to 80 minutes, and we'll just see the game out really professionally. Eric Dyer being back's huge at the back. Romero and Eric Dyer looks like a brick wall. Looks like the brick wall I'm, sitting in front of. Eric Dyer and Eric Dyer, 9 games for Spurs in a 5 at the back. 6 wins, 3 draws, no losses. Eric Dyer has never been in a loss when he's in a back 5. I don't see that changing at Turf Moor. I don't think Burnley have the quality to maybe score I'm personally saying they're not going to score. I think Lloris has been solid recently. Yes, he's made a couple of mistakes, but actually, if you look at the save he made against Mahrez and the countless saves he made against Wolves to keep us in the game, Hugo Lloris is one of our best players.
Yeah.
And I just think that starting 11 for me really, really did impress me massively. I don't think Man City didn't score more than one goal in open play. They got a penalty. I don't think Burnley will get a penalty. Touch wood. I just don't think Cornet and Wedgehorse will break through this time. I think we'll set up really nicely, and I can see a really sound 2-0 win. Hopefully I'm right. But listen, let's go through the chat and see what the guys are saying. So we've got a lot of comments in here. That's not the right one. Kane saying 2-1 Spurs. Alex saying 4-0 Spurs. Wow, that would be an impressive one. Sean saying 1-0, maybe a 2-0. Love it, Sean. Love the 2-0. Get that positive 2-0 in there like me. Kane saying, believe me, boys. He's going for 2-1 like Andre. Nami saying 2-1 Spurs. Quite a common theme at the moment with Andre, you guys. At least one partnership goal from Son and Kane to make them the leading duo. Yeah, hopefully you're right. I hope to see it tomorrow. You know, they were so smiley in that joint interview the other day. It was unbelievable. Bobby's going with me, 2-0. Sticking with it. COYS. Lloris 22 saves on the clean sheet. It's not a Bobby K prediction without the Lloris number of saves, mate. He said 33 saves at the Etihad. He didn't actually need to make that many, thank God. And Aaron's going one better than you, Andre. He's going 3-1 Spurs. Kane, Son, Bentancur. Top bins. He called out earlier. I actually did. He said that if we scroll up a little bit. Here we go. Bentancur with the top bins tomorrow. So he's confident on that. And Wedgehorse for them. So there's the predictions from the Spurs Relatables. And listen, Spurs Relatables, if you haven't already, subscribe if you want to be a Spurs Relatable. Subscribe if you're new. Like this video. The support's been brilliant recently. We're live almost every day, at least 5 times a week. We've got plenty of content coming this week. It's only Tuesday. Tomorrow, as always, please join us straight after that game. Kickoffs, I believe, 8 o'clock, Andre?
I believe so, yeah.
8 o'clock kickoff. So we will be live at sorry, it's not. It's 7:30
No,
kickoff tomorrow.
Yeah, it's 2:30 for me.
7:30 kickoff tomorrow. Sorry, guys. 7:30 kickoff tomorrow. That's a weird time, actually. So we'll be live from 9:30. So please join us 9:30 p.m. UK time. If you're over the pond in Canada, like some of our friends, that's a 4:30 p.m. start your time. So listen, we will be there after the game reviewing it, good or bad. Hopefully another buzzing podcast to come after that. So that's tomorrow. Thursday, we're analysing the game in depth, aren't we, Andre, on Thursday? So catch us there Thursday night. Friday will be a preview for the Leeds game at Ellen Road. So, guys, the fixtures come in thick and fast. And then same again for the Leeds review and preview. And to come potentially, if not this week, but next week, we've got the Spurs-related quiz. If you guys checked it out, it was an unbelievable night, great fun, and we got a rematch coming in for a little bit of a controversial scoreline, maybe, or not controversial, but the guys that lost weren't too happy. But I won't spoil it. If you want to go and watch that video, it's live on our channel now. But listen, guys, before you do sign off, we just want to thank you guys for the great support. Please check out all our social medias, our community section, where you can find all the information for when we're live. We're using that a lot at the moment. I've seen a lot of you commenting on there on our community section. Get your likes and comments on there. We want to interact with you guys. Think of it as a way to message us almost, and we'll reply. And yeah, Andre, thanks as always, mate. Hope you've had a blast on this one.
100% as always.
Good stuff, guys. Remember, enjoy the game tomorrow. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
2-0. Remember it. Said it now. Clip it next time. Come on, you Spurs.